Hey, today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet a very basic granny square. Crocheting has been around for a very long time, but there's been a pretty big resurgence of it recently with the Gen Z and bringing back the granny hobbies. I personally started crocheting about 2-ish years ago. I've made a bunch of different things. My favorite things to make are definitely like stuffed animals. I've also gotten really into wearables. I will throw up some photos that of stuff that I've made, but today it's gonna be very basic using the double crochet and chain stitches, which are very basic. And I'm gonna be showing you using my favorite brand of yarn, the Caron, the Simply Soft, and it's a weight 4. And I'm gonna be using my favorite hook. It is interchangeable, and it is a 4mm, which is personally like my favorite size to work with. So I'm going to be breaking this up into 3 parts. The first part is going to be the the first part's kind of like 2 in 1. You're going to want to do the magic ring and then starting your first row. Then your second is going to be the second row, and the third is the third row, but it's all basically the same repeating pattern. And so with that, I'll start off with a slip stitch, which is just, or kind of like a slip knot. You're gonna want to put your hook in, and then chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you are gonna want to put your hook into the first, if I can find it, into the first chain and pull a slip stitch. This is gonna kind of be like your magic ring. There are other ways to do this. This is just the easiest one. And so from there, you are going to want to chain 3. To double crochet, you wrap around, go into, this is a little difficult to show, pull through. And so this chain is going to count as your first double crochet, so you're going to want 3. So 1, 2, 3. Then from there, we're going to want to chain 3, and then you are going to want to repeat this 3 more times, and I will get back to you when I'm done with the first row. Okay, so now you can kind of see what I've done here is there's 4 little things, and we have this last chain. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert it into the first, or the very top of this chain, and I am just simply gonna do a slip stitch, and then this is gonna close off the first row, so you get this nice little pattern. And then from there, it's gonna be the second row. And so you are going to want to slip stitch into these 2 double crochets to get to this chain space. So, oh gosh, this is a little hard to show. 1, 2. So yeah, see how I've kind of like moved over here, and then I'm going to want to put this into the chain space as well, just so I can get the starting post. And then basically it's repeating the same thing. So chain 3 for your first double crochet, and then double crochet 2 more. And then from there, to make this a piece that grows bigger, you're going to want to chain 3 and then double crochet 3 again in the same chain space. And so from there, you will have this kind of, you'll see how it starts to get bigger. And then when you go, or you're going to start crocheting in this next chain space, and you're not going to want to chain to get there. You're just going to kind of throw a double crochet in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so from there, it is basically the same thing. So I'm going to chain 3 again and do double crochet 3, and I'm just doing this repeat pattern in all the corner spaces, and I will get back to you when I am done with that. Alright, so I've pretty much finished this, and it's the same deal as last time, and I'm going to slip stitch into the top chain space there. And this is a repeating pattern, so you could basically go on, or you can make this pretty much as big as you want. The only difference is that from here, you're basically doing the same thing. You're gonna slip stitch 2 into the double crochets just to get to that chain space, and then do a slip stitch in the chain space, and then you're doing the same dealio, 3 chain, 2 double crochet, chain 3, double crochet back into that chain space. The only difference now is that with this, you have an additional chain space to work into. So I'm just repeating it, but you're not going to do the 2 clusters of the double crochet in this space. You are only going to be doing 3 double crochets. So I'm going to be working 1, 2, 3. And then I am just going to be moving on to this one. And then basically the pattern repeats just as it was in the previous 2, but I will get back to you when I am done. And we basically came back to the same point we were before, but I'm going to be finishing this off. So I'm going to be slip stitching into this top chain space just like I have previously. The only difference now is I'm not going to continue it, so I'm going to slip stitch here, and then you are going to want to take your scissors. I'm not sure where mine went, but you basically snip and then you pull, and then that is your granny square. And hopefully you learned something from this. It's not super in-depth, but be patient. It can be very hard at times, especially trying to read patterns, but it is an incredibly rewarding hobby. It's super fun to make things for friends and family, and it's very rewarding. It's very fun. You get something physical out of it, and I hope you learned something today.